um, their marriage didn't break down because of this boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, after all of the years been together and everything they've accomplished, you know, I mean, let's keep it a bean. Will was a star, but when he got with Jada, Jada gave him that gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, we cannot front on
Right.
what she brought to the picture for him. Because Will's corny. He always been corny. He was known as the corny rapper. Let's just keep it a bean. You know what I'm saying? But he could always sell records. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was something in him before his movie career started that made him so special, that made him worth putting on television and becoming like a black legacy, you know, enterprise, like Good Times and all of that, and the Cosby Show. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he was cool, he was successful, but nobody really started, like, you know, appreciating his gangster until he had Jada on his arm. So let's keep that a bean. And then let's also keep it a bean that Jada is from Baltimore.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, anybody from the East Coast that knows anything about anything, like anywhere from Boston to like Richmond, Virginia, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of traveling that goes back and forth on the Northeastern corridor. So, you know, hustlers, they come from out of town. Baltimore, they show up where? Philly. Every time a Baltimore drug dealer wanted to hide and couldn't go to New York, they came to Philly. And vice versa. Philly would go to Baltimore. And I can tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you what I told my children, my godchildren, my nieces, and my nephews. Do not get involved with nobody from Baltimore. I say that about don't get involved with nobody from Camden. Don't get involved with nobody from Chester, because that comes with a whole nother line of drawbacks. You know what I'm saying? Just the environment in itself. You know what I mean? Like, they're gangster by nature. So when Jada brought that to the picture, that just gave Will a whole nother level of G. And to watch what's happening to them in front of the public eye, for me, is hard because I know what's going on. Like, I don't know all their business, but I know what's going on. And what I also know is it ain't nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
There are three main questions that people need to be asking. Why did August Alsina come out now? Because they both said it in the Red Table interview. I had to force myself to watch it because I got sick and tired of people talking, and I didn't know what was going on because I'm just coming back into the world. I'm more worried about me than anything else. But I watched it, and it disturbed me because I saw something that I recognized from being married and being an entertainer. What's up? Talk to me. The 20-ounce baby, the activator with mango.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, I just got finished doing the hike. We just did the rain. You beat the rain, so excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
You were saying?
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel you. I feel that they're being exploited, and it shouldn't
Like it's
take away from their
entertainment.
greatness. Yeah.
Like it's entertainment.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what do you think? Why do you think, since they both said all of this was over 4 years ago, and they're so shocked that he would say something else, why do you think that boy is running his mouth?
I don't know. I mean, at this time, everybody trying to do something to get on. It could have been somebody behind the scenes doing something privately. We don't know for sure. We can
Well,
speculate.
I can see my speculation might be a little bit better because I know all the players involved and I understand how the game goes.
Got you.
So let me offer you this perspective. See, when you start getting involved as an up-and-coming artist with powerhouse entities like the Smith family, when you start doing that, you're locking yourself into the network. See, when you're having these kind of relationships with powerful people, when you get involved with powerful people don't let you in unless they're welcoming you into the fold.
Right.
And then once you get through that threshold and you are in the fold, you part of the family now. Now everything that they have to their access, you also have access to as well. So what happens when you stop banging with that family like that? Now I would bet money, good money, that after he and Jada parted ways quietly and discreetly as they should have, he started, going around looking for gigs.
And couldn't
But that working. I'm going to put it to you this way. In Hollywood, I bet you he heard it probably 100 times. oh, you would be great for this role, but we do business with the Smiths.
Damn. So you saying he probably couldn't get no work at all?
The boy is sitting there talking about, I don't want my livelihood affected, and I don't want my life to be destroyed, and all of this and all of that. The only reason you would say that is because you're desperate, because you're going through something. Somebody got the squeeze on you.
Right, you hungry, yeah.
So if you banging with the Smiths and you in, what makes you think you're going to stay in if you're not banging with the Smiths no more? And who are people going to show loyalty to? The new hot wonder?
Or the powerhouse.
Or the powerhouse family.
Yeah.
So that's a given. That's a given. That's why you got to be careful who you get involved with and who you align yourself with, and make sure these are people that you intend to keep in your life for the rest of your life, because you can't make that. It's too crazy in the music industry. It's too crazy in entertainment, period. Trying to be able to vet people out to see who actually gives a damn about you is nearly impossible.
Yeah,
all you can do is take a shot and hope you ain't making a bad choice. That's all you can do. And when I look at their marriage, I think to myself, August Alsina is not the reason why they had problems. They had problems long before. In order for her to get involved with a friend of her children, that's gangster.
Yeah, I guess it could be kind of crazy. I always felt like.
No, I'm gonna tell you something right now. I have grown children. My son, God rest his soul.
Yeah,
he would have been 27 years old this September. He would have been 27 years old.
Yeah,
and even though I'm only 16 years older than my son,
mm-hmm.
even when his friends would say, "Damn, your mom, your mom.
Right.
I was like, If I even see you going in that direction, you got to leave my house. I'm the mother of this house.
Right.
I'm not your plaything.
Right.
I pay the bills. You can come and sit down and have dinner. You can fellowship with the family. But the second you start looking at my ass too many times and I catch you, you got to get up out my house. Just because of respect. For any woman to get involved with her children's friends, like I know a chick back from Camden. She did that. She got involved with a dude, her and her man. She was in her 40s. He was in his 20s. Her son was in his 20s. He moved into the house. Now the son got to listen to mom getting smashed on by a dude only 2 years older than him. It got interesting. They broke up. The breakup was messy. Long story short, mom takes the son to go get the money and the gun that the young boy stole, and that was it. She ain't even make it to her son's funeral. By the time she came out of her coma, her son had already been funeralized and put in the ground. That nigga took the gun that he stole from her and shot her and her son.
Damn.
Now, because I had that personal story in my life, there's no way in hell I'm going to roll the dice on my own.
Yeah, I hear you.
There's just no way in hell. There's no way in hell. So I'm saying, if you can be that G with it, if you can be that gangster with it, that you're making that kind of move in your marriage had problems long before that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't go from, oh, we're having problems, to I'm doing the worst possible thing I could ever do to my husband. You don't jump that fast. So there were problems long before, which is why I posted the picture with Tupac. Because the truth is, there's so much of this story that's being omitted. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody has to remember, these are trained professional award-winning actors. They know the deep, how to program a story to spin it the way they need to spin it to cover other things. Because if you ask me, in my opinion, for what I've seen, Tupac was the love of Jada Pinkett's life. And let's just keep it a beam. Will Smith is never going to be Tupac.
Damn.
He's never going to be Tupac.
You know what?
Never going to be Tupac. It don't matter how much money he make. It don't matter how many movies he sell.
Yeah,
it don't matter about none of that stuff. He ain't never going to be Tupac. Tupac is bigger than Tupac. Tupac is bigger than Will Smith's death. Than Will Smith has been in his whole life.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm going to tell you something right now. If I was in love with Tupac Shakur, and that man passed away, and I had deep feelings for oh my God, yeah. What you going to do after that? What you do after Tupac?
Yeah, healing. That's crazy.
But I think her and Will were a good match, especially for Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? They became a power couple, and it was great. But the thing is, if you in love, if what really turns you, what really gets you going is that that gangster, that was something that Will Smith was never going to be able to provide. Ever. You don't go from loving a G to loving Mr. Rogers. It doesn't work that way. You don't.
Right.
If you're attracted to Scarface, you're not lusting after Tom Hanks. No matter how good a guy he may be.
Right.
No matter how cool
he may
be. The right match is the right match. Whatever sparks, whatever turns that, I'm telling you right now, what you do after Tupac? Come on. What else is there after Tupac? Women still going crazy. That man been dead almost 30 years. How do you compete with that? And that's why men should never go around walking in dead man's shoes. You'll never be able to fill them. You will never be able to fill a dead man's shoes.
That's right. Be yourself.
They have been immortalized. Yeah, but you also got to choose somebody that likes what you got going on.
Exactly.
But guess what? That's very thin in Hollywood. Being able to find that kind of perfect match in the entertainment world is nearly impossible. That's why you have all of these they need to stop calling themselves PR reps and just start calling themselves matchmakers. Because that's what they do. That's what these PR people do. They find, he's hot. We need to get you on a date with him. And if it looks good and you end up on page 6, then y'all need to do 2 more dates here. And you need to do this. Like, people don't understand. These are how celebrities' lives are micromanaged behind the scenes.
Right.
So what do you do when your brand when your brand and your family life are one? See, everybody likes to think of the Smiths as just a family.
Yeah,
these people are a brand.
Yeah, I hear you.
They are a corporation. They are a corporation that has now produced more than one generation to carry the money after them. They're more than a family. There are pressures that come along with that go so much deeper than the entertained eye needs. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's eating this up. They eating this up. But what if you can't divorce the person that you need to divorce because it's going to kill the brand? Now, if it kills the brand, all of it was in vain. Everything you sacrificed, everything you put up with, everything you did is all in vain. So it makes sense that they would deny it before they went on the red table. That makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you.
Like, I'm really not mad at anything they've done, because the truth is, this ain't none of nobody's business. I'm sick and tired of everybody. I'm sick and tired of everybody being all interested in what's going on in everybody's drugs. We got more important things going on than who's screwing who and who's screwing what. We got coronavirus out here. We got this invisible enemy taking people down by drugs, and all you worried about is drugs?
Right, exactly.
You worried about drugs. Nigga, you need to be worried about whether or not you're going to be alive. You need to be worried about whether or not you got your affairs in order, because somebody might cough on you and it might be the end.
Dang.
It might be like all somebody got to do is cough on you and it's ventilated city, baby, and y'all worried about people's draws.
Craziness.
For stuff that don't even matter, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that she slept with that boy. It doesn't matter that that boy slept with her. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. This is where I get upset.
Anybody else in a regular day-to-day life, nobody gives a shit about.
You would care.
Exactly.
You would care.
Exactly.
You would not care. You don't care.
It wouldn't.
Kiki down the street is screwing at the bar. You don't care nothing about that. Matter of fact, you waiting for it to be over, because all she does is get in the mess and mess up everybody's night. Like, you so over it. You so done with it. So why you so up for this?
Yeah.
So why you so up for this? It's nobody's business, but since it's out there, we need to discuss the things that are important.
Mm-hmm.
And the things that are important are that maybe they're going through this because they're trying to hold on to an image that we've bought into.
Right, the world.
Like, that's the thing you got to understand. That's the thing you got to understand. They're a brand, and their whole brand is about satisfying what? The public. So if the public wants a happy black family with great kids and blah, 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 and that they adopted, and the nigga still made films. People still loved him.
Right.
This nigga married his daughter.
Damn.
He literally went, and please forgive me, yes, I'm Seventh-day Adventist, and yes, I'm a Christian, and I pray to God every day to take the North Philly out of my mouth. But I gotta I gotta keep it a being North Philly style on this. This nigga went and picked out his pussy at the damn orphanage.
Right.
And grew it and matured it like a fucking piece of cheese or wine. Like, and ain't nobody had nothing to say about that. Nobody had nothing to say about that. The man was able to work. He was still giving his respect. But let that something go wrong in a black family. Let something go wrong in a black family. You know what I mean? And it's and now we gotta stay together. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. It's not fair. Together for all of these years just to satisfy us, to satisfy our hopes and dreams, because we want the great black American couple to represent us to the United. Like, that's not their job. For real. It's not their job. It's not their job to make everybody's fantasies come true. It's their job to be decent human beings and decent people and excellent parents to their children while they have them. Like, that's their job. For real. You know, and when you become hostage to your brand, see, I don't think anyone has ever bothered to consider that maybe that's what's going on with the Smiths. They're being held hostage by their brand to satisfy our wants. And, babe, do you want to just go home now, or do you want to go to Home Depot now? I'm sorry, we're running morning errors. You want to go to Home Depot now?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, so, I mean, it's like they're being held. I know what that feels like. My first marriage was a sham, too. It was my sham. No one picked it for me. I chose it for myself. I didn't want to be single because I know how dangerous it is to be a single woman with great popularity in the music industry. You're a victim. Constantly. You're a victim. And, you know, that's why that's another thing I always said was unfair. You know, the men, they get groupies and we get husbands. Groupies don't get no severances. Groupies don't get they don't get no, I mean, they might get alimony, all depending on what state they live in, but
I can be your groupie and your husband.
You are not my groupie. You are my husband and my partner. I refuse to have it any other way. I refuse to have it any other way. This is my husband. He don't hurt. I hold her purse. We don't do that. We don't do that in this life. We keep it a bean in this life. That's my husband. I'm his wife. You know, and we said the words, and we meant the words. You know, so when I see people, I don't think they're meaning to run roughshod over marriage. I think that they're held hostage by their brand, and I think y'all need to forgive them and let them be people. You know, and let them live their lives so that they continue to be happy and they can continue to be whole. I think people expect too much. They just expect too much from entertainers who are just human beings. They're human beings. This is none of our business. What we really need to be worrying about is the state of the world and the state of black marriage for real. Because if black people just got to stay married so that they can keep working, if black people have to do this just so they can do this, just so they can keep their money, hey, boom.
Girl.
I got to call you.
I know. I want to go to Texas. I'm going to be going to Texas just to kick your ass because you haven't called me back. How you doing?
You ain't kicking nobody's ass.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, kick my ass.
You haven't met me yet, but I'm
I know.
Who it is?
You know what? I promise you, you know what?
I'm one of these little skinny black chicks that come in like a ninja. You better call people. People are really looking for you.
Do you see how skinny I'm getting?
No.
I'm a size 8 now.
Okay. I
haven't been an 8 since you met me.
I'm not worried about how big or small you are. How you doing? You've been missing from the universe. We all were worried about you. We were trying to find you.
I had to go away for a while.
And that's good. Amy's looking for you. You got to call Amy.
Amy Starr?
Yes.
I thought is she living in the island?
Yes.
Tell her to call me. Tell her to call me. Give me my.
I gotta get her number. DM me your number. I had to contact you.
You don't have my number?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I had to go away for a while. I needed to take a break, and we need to talk about it. I had an existential crisis.
Haven't we all?
You know what I'm saying? I'm 40-something. My son got shot. You know what I mean? Like, I went through some shit. I had to go through what I had to go through. We got to talk about it.
But you will DM me your phone number.
I got to get ready to come to New York in a short bit. Are you going to be in town?
You don't feel like what you talking about.
I'm flying around the universe. No, of course I'm
Yeah,
here.
got it. I'll let you know. I got to come to Harlem.
Well, you'll stay with me. We'll figure it out.
Cool.
Do me a favor. Will you DM me your phone number, like, now? Because I know you'll forget, because you'll be talking smack and pontificating, and you're like,
I know.
Oh, yay, I don't know.
It's pontification. I'm gonna do it.
My comments about the Will Smith thing is...
Yes, I would love to hear what you think.
It isn't any of my business.
No.
What's been happening, really, is everybody's been talking about Jada being a predator with this guy, right? Like she used him because he was sick. Now, I've got a lot to say about that because
it's not that deep.
Older men date younger women, but here's the thing:
all the time.
He was 23, and one of the challenges when you have celebrities and you have friends is they're gaming, right? So he knew that, like, by sizing himself up to Jada, that I don't think he's that ignorant to know, like, what he was doing, right? He's a adult in the industry, and he found his end, you know, because obviously Jaden couldn't help him with his career, couldn't help him with his stuff, couldn't help him.
Or maybe Jaden just didn't fall in love with him. Maybe he was hoping for that. Who knows?
But at the end of the day, like, he's a 23-year-old, young, attractive black man. They have
trying to get on.
They know their power as much as a young, attractive 23-year-old black woman. So at the end of the day, game sees game, right? And he got feelings and got his feelings hurt. And that's unfortunate, but that's what happens when you work with an old dog like Jada. She isn't going anywhere.
She's from Baltimore.
That's a marriage, right? You have an affair with a married person, that's a marriage, right? And, like, you know, I love the fact that we're looking at black marriage in a holistic way from people who've gone through it. It isn't like the Cosby Show. It's a complicated thing, and it's two different people, and they're like, I don't really love how they say bad marriage for life, but you can see, like, Will is like, yo, I am tired of your bullshit. But he's been saying that for years. This is nothing new. He said, I gave up making her happy. And I love the fact that they have built this wacky, interesting relationship. Because what I see in it is that so many black women, we are abandoned by men because of our stuff. And we got stuff, right? She has not only her mother.
Oh, why you say that? I'm sorry, I'm looking at this comment.
What? Her mother had drug issues and 4 husbands. She had her issues. And, like, a lot of, you know, as black women, we're so devalued. We have nobody defending us. No one's saying, like, yo, Will is defending his woman, but looking at her like, yo, girl. But he's.
I just wish he would take his balls back. I just want him to take his balls back. That's all I want. I want him to take his balls back and put them back in his pants because he lost his balls. I don't care what nobody says. When your wife starts sleeping with your son's friends, I mean, I don't know how much worse it goes than that.
Again, I'm speaking about something different, right?
No, I know.
Because I mean, if we're gonna talk about relationships, you know, I mean, things are complicated, and I'm sure he did his stuff too, right? It takes two to tango. So at the end of the day, like, not only is it in none of our business, but it's amazing to see a black man stand by his wife, even in the face of the bullshit. And be like, yeah, this is my wife. I'm not going anywhere. And when we're in a situation where black women are repeatedly not thrown under the bus in every kind of way possible, I think we need to be talking more about, like, the strength of his character to allow her to grow as a human being and still stand by her side. Because that's what I see in it. I don't know them. I met them once backstage at a Jay-Z concert, and they were fun. And I was just like, but, you know, my boss rolled up on me and just ruined my whole vibe. I was like, yeah. But, you know, I was like, she's cute, he's cute, what's going on? You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we only look at black people through the lens, this very narrow lens, which is dysfunction or the Cosby Show, right? it's either completely dysfunctional or the Cosby Show. There's no in between, and they're showing you the realities of
There's a whole lot of in between.
of our humanities, of our humanity as human beings in this fucking weird paradigm we're in. I think it's much more interesting to talk about them being real people versus being being slightly pervy and slightly off and slightly flawed and fucked up.
And how about a whole lot human?
Having weird kids who are like LGBTQ today and Osho another day, and then being in Hollywood and having money. We don't if you look at TV.
Everybody goes to swinger parties in Hollywood.
I mean, but it's still none of my business, right? Listen, consent is the fact that you are in a relationship or in whatever that is, that this is how this shit's gonna go off. You either cool with it or not cool with it. If you say you're cool with it, then you're not cool with it. We're gonna go back and adjust and reframe that shit. But at the end of the day, the complexities of two Black human beings who are successful is much more interesting for me to look at than whether or not I agree with what they did. I don't give a shit.
Who cares what they did?
The dirty shit that, listen, for me, for that kid to go and promote his album on some 4-year-old bullshit and throw her under the bus at this particular time, it says more about his character, right?
It says everything about his character.
You know what I mean?
But my thing is this. When it comes to him, to make a move like this, you gotta be desperate. You gotta be desperate. If you're gonna take a shot at him,
but I don't know about that. I don't know that he's.
I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you why I say that. Because for him to go after them the way he's going after them, he is cutting himself off from a lot of great possibilities. There are a lot of people that are not going to want to deal with him, do any business with him.
Here's the conversation, right? It's not about that, right? He fell in love or lust with her, and his feelings got hurt. So rather than being a grown-up, he got bad counseling, because I'm sure if he rolled up and called her and said, hey, listen, I did this album. I want you to listen to it first. My feelings are hurt. I want to come to the red table and talk to you about it. Because that shit would have been mad interesting. That would have been interesting because he would have, and everyone's his opportunist. I really believe he was 23 and young and caught feelings. Because I've been that 23, right? And his whole album probably is about her and that time he was in his own stuff. I think it would have been much more interesting if he approached her listen, we had something 4 years ago. And rather than me talking smack about it, why don't we go to the red table talk? And why don't we talk about what happened? And he should
have hired the publicist that Usher had when they released Confessions.
Right.
That's what he should have done. He should have went and hired that person to walk him through that, if that's what he was going to do.
For her to own up to who she was, and for him, this is how I feel about the situation, and I still have feelings for you, or don't have feelings for you, or I'm confused about the feelings. Because let's face it, when you're young, you confuse sex with love.
Period.
That's how it is, right? And
that's exactly how it is.
I'm sure she's a 45-year-old sophisticated woman. She not only threw it on him, but she nurtured the fuck out of him, right? Because that's the kind of heat you need sometimes. But sometimes your brain just gets a little fuck.
It ain't ready. It ain't ready.
It's not ready. Unconditional love. I'm taking care of you. I'm taking care of you. But I got a situation over here, because she needed to mother and heal somebody. You know what I mean? So I get all the dynamic of it.
So do I.
I get it. I just, none of our business, but as Black people, everyone's
not at all.
I'm going to leave my husband. How many Black women do you know in relationships with men who beat their asses?
First things first, I know a lot of people that say they going to leave. I know a lot of people that's leaving all the time. And guess where I find them? Exactly where they was complaining about it the last time.
Exactly.
Which is why I've never been a big complainer. Because if you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
It's more important to look at how we're in a place where we can look at the complexities of what is brown, Black, or whatever we want to call ourselves, African, however we want, in the complexities of that, and how, you know what I mean, have other kind of to be Black, or this Black looks like, or to conversation.
You're breaking up.
I think it's a conversation outside of the regular paradigms of
it is.
You know,
well, the truth is that the conversation that you're having is so far out of the scope of typical African American conversation when it comes to relationships.
You mean that white Jesus that they go to church and pray over?
Pretty much, because Jesus wasn't white.
Don't you talk about white Jesus?
Listen to me, white Jesus can't do nothing but wash my socks. I pray my God is melanated.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we also have to talk about the King James Bible, rewritten by King James, who killed his mother and was sleeping with the guy named Westminster. But I mean, how can you like you don't like gays or anything that's different, but you're reading the St. James Bible? Really?
Exactly.
Just, come on, people. Like at the end of the day, like I wish them happiness. I love the complexities of her.
I wish them healing.
And you know, do I believe all of it? No, it's Hollywood. Come on.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a cartoon character, but like, did I see how exhausted Will looked with her ass?
Yeah.
He was like, girl. And you knew what she said. You know what she said? I'm going to get you back. He was like, I'm going to get you back. And he's going to get her back.
I mean, if he's going to get her back, I just hope he does it with Margot Robbie. I don't
know nothing about it. I just hope he gets her back with me. That's all I can say. I think he's cute. I love him. He can get cute with me any day. And you know, I'm cool with Jada too.
You over here,
I like her kids are cute. We can hang out with her kids.
You always like the kids.
I hang out with Jada. She got cute feet. I do not care. But I love them both.
Cute feet, that's it.
She's got really cute feet. She's cute.
Yeah.
And she seems like she's fun. Her mother seems like she's fun. I would love to join the Will Smith family.
All I'm gonna say to you is this.
Listen, I'm ready to be their inexpensive sister wife.
I love it. I love it. I think you would add something to the whole situation.
No, I think it'd be hilarious. I would look at them like, I love you both.
I'm dead serious. I think you would add something to that situation.
I'm staying out of it. But I love you all. I'm gonna go get a cookie I'm gonna have the butler give me a cookie from the refrigerator.
Where's Jeffrey?
When's dinner?
Where's Jeffrey? He needs to give me a cookie
I'd
now.
be in there cooking. I'd be happy as a clam. It's just like, I don't care. Like, oh, is that butler mine? I mean, come on. Like, why are people complaining? These people are rich and they're funny and they're fun and they got, you know, like, it's like, there should be some joy in their house. Their life is easy. Like, everyone's going, y'all are unhappy? Like, how can y'all be unhappy? I live in Harlem right now. There are senior citizens that are unhooked on PCP. Well, these people are talking about being unhappy? No, seriously. People, how can you be unhappy? You have staff. Their job is to make you happy. Like you could, I mean, not shopping and things like, but you could actually go and like lay out by the pool and do your work, have an assistant, like come up with an idea and pitch it to some television show. Like,
or Friday or and write a new movie script.
How are these people unhappy? Because I'd wake up every day going, nah. I'd be like, yeah, life is great. I don't. I do it every day. I do something jiggy with it because they have so much. And like,
let me find out you doing a commercial right now. Or a spot in the Smith clan. Let me find out. Lord.
But I mean, literally, how do these people? How do these people not have people around them who think their sole job is
to take care of you?
Yeah, somebody's like, yes, this is right. No, but like I'm saying, it's sidebar. I sidebar. But the reality is that, you know, how are these people who are multimillionaires who are so simple? Why are they unhappy? Like, I want to sit at that table and go, you do understand, like, there are people. I live in a rent-stabilized apartment for 20 years. I have a senior citizen next to me.
Girl, I gotta go. I gotta holler with my people.
But who's
bedridden? They are running me for filth right now.
They can run you for filth, but who are bedridden, who have nurses that take care of 24 hours. And how are these people unhappy? Why are they unhappy? Like, it just doesn't. It's like, why are they suffering? They have so much money.
There's something else going on. Listen to me. When Robin Williams killed himself,
okay,
nobody saw that coming.
I wouldn't beg to differ with that one, but yeah.
Well, I mean, nobody in the world who would have ever seen him or known him, a fan of his work, would have ever guessed that he was tormented and going through pain. You know what I mean? The truth is living in the entertainment life.
There's somebody on this says money can't buy happiness, but it can get
True.
really damn close to it. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're spending your money well. I know how to buy me some happiness.
Investing.
Listen to me. I need you to do me a favor.
I love you.
I love you too. But before I come to New York, I'm going to give you a call, and I'm going to you got to tell me what I'm cooking because I haven't cooked for you in a while.
Okay. Why don't you just come to New York and we can just worry about ordering takeout? Like, don't be
I'm not down with the COVID.
Okay.
I cook.
Okay.
I'm not down with COVID. I cook.
Okay, that's fine.
If you just get the groceries, and I'll take care of everything else.
You've got 20 people on this call. They're probably going to read me to filth, but yes. Nah. I'm auditioning for your assistant.
I love you, and I gotta text you my number.
And now I've got
it. Right?
Huh?
Good morning.
My number hasn't changed for 20 years.
Neither did mine until I went to jail and I lost my phone contract and I had to get a whole new number. That really messed my life up.
You really should have a Netflix TV show. Seriously. It's just kind of because you still have a sense of humor and you're still Jackie.
Absolutely.
But, to wrap it up, somebody should go on their show and explain to them, why are you unhappy? Why are you digging into this old shit? What do you do every day that makes you, feel like amazing and powerful? And what I feel is missing from that table is service. Because all they're doing is complaining. They're not talking about how they're serving other people. And in that conversation, if their real intention was to serve August, she shouldn't have done that. But, now it really needs to be about how do we become better people? How do we do service?
Period.
Because they're in this rich house with this rich bullshit. The conversation needs to be transformed. Every day we're doing something of service. And I think that's what's missing with the Red Table Talks. I'm going to wrap that shit up.
Oh.
Nah. Bye.
Hey. I'm going to hit you up. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
If you talk to Amy before I do, tell her I'm reaching out. I'll get her on Instagram.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Tokyo 2003.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Shh. Were you snoring in a nightclub in my lap? Please.
Oh, Jesus.
Love you. Oh, man. I love my friends. It's good to have them. And, that's another thing that I love about the life that I live. That woman has been a costume designer in New York for forever. She blew into my life. She styled me for my entire second album. She spent time with my children. She's been in my home. I've been in her home. We're friends. We've been friends all these years. And I have so many, everyone has their own point of view, but at the end of the day, we all get to the same point. There are bigger things to worry about than the things that we're worrying about. And, I just hope that everybody can treat them like human beings. Just let them be human and pray for August. Because in my personal opinion, I do not see how this is going to turn out well for him. I don't. I do not. Hey, Mike. We gotta talk. I'm actually talking to people again, so we gotta talk. I don't think it's too late when it comes to the kids, because I'm starting to look through some of these comments now. Hey, Chike, love you. But I don't think the kids are completely effed up. I don't think it's totally lost. I just think the dynamic of their family is going to change. If you have to worry about everybody being perfect so nobody gets busted on social media and you can live in your home, it's not fair. It really isn't.
That's classified.
You live this public life, and there's no privacy. There's just no privacy. Whatever they are, whoever they are, it doesn't even matter. They're still human beings, and we got to just let people be human and mind our business. I don't know personally. I think the boy, because you don't take a shot at the king and don't kill him. This was a shot. This was a clear shot to the Smith family. You know what I mean? It's like he was friends with their kids. Like this you doing this to your people parents. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a harsh move to just make on a hum or just because. I do like the idea that Rebecca gave though about discussing all of this initially at the red table. That would have been hot. That would have been a great conversation, but those problems started long before some August house. You don't get to that point. You just don't get to that point that easy. It's not something that happens overnight. You were happy and then all of a sudden, boom, you're making the worst life choice ever. Like, it just doesn't go down like that. So, you know, as far as black marriage and entertainment goes, we have to remember that the people that we look up to, you know, the people that so many entertainers that I loved growing up, they really ruined it for me. They ruined it for me when I met them. I was so damn disappointed. I couldn't even listen to the music good no more. You know, but see, I had a fantasy about what I thought that person was like as opposed to what they were really like. You know what I mean? So that's why I got disappointed, as if I had the right to be disappointed. How about that? Did I even have the right to be disappointed with who you are as a person? You are who you are. You don't owe me anything. You don't have to live up to anything for me just because I bought some music of yours or because I listened to some music of yours. You know, people, we create these fantasies about just basic human beings. And if anybody's learned anything in the past, I don't know, 5 years, like right before the Me Too movement kicked off all the way up till now, everybody's being held accountable for actions. Or for actually not for actions, but for an act. But nobody's being held accountable for their actions. That's what I'm trying to say. Everyone has to hold somebody accountable for their acts, but nobody is holding anybody accountable for their actions because we all play a part in dysfunction. We all play a part in the breakdown of things that happen in our lives. No one person did everything all wrong, all by themselves, and it all falls on somebody. No, everyone played a part. And that's why I said the conversation is it's too big. It's too big to talk about it from such a vague point of view. Like, there's a whole lot that's missing. And once again, it's really none of our business. You know, we got to do better about black marriage. And this is why I said to my gay friends, I hope that when, you know, they legalize gay marriage, that y'all do a better job of it than heterosexual, because heterosexuals done turn marriage into a whole joke. Like, we done boogied it up. Maybe the gays will do it better than us. Please let somebody else show us how to make a marriage work, because heterosexual people done messed it all up. We done boogied it up. We done messed it up. We done peed on the shoes and everything. What's up, Ma?
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning.
North side.
Throw it up.
Yeah, well, my reviews on this thing with Will and Jada, August. I feel like August is the one that started all this.
He did.
Because he put it out there. And I don't know if he put it out there just because he was trying to get his name back out there or just trying to get that attention. But by him doing that, you put other people's business out there and put their lives. You know what I mean?
Do you know what could have stopped all that, though? Do you know what could have stopped all that? If she didn't sleep with him.
Yeah, you right. But we talking
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to tell you something right now. When you say the words, when you get married and you say the words, you say the words.
Right.
Like there's words, right? For better or for worse, sickness and health, for richer, for poorer, till death do us part. And you're supposed to love and honor and all of these things, right?
Right.
You say the words. So if you said the words, you were supposed to mean the words when you said them, right?
Facts.
Now, part of those words are, I'm not going to screw anybody, even our kids' friends. I'm not screwing nobody but you.
But we don't know
so when you listen to me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we turn it into. It doesn't change what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like a duck might really want to be a swan. A duck might really believe in his heart that he's a swan. You know what I'm saying? And he might try to find a way to stretch his beak. He might try. You a duck.
Yeah.
You a duck. You just got to accept it for what it is. At the end of the day, the only thing that makes just being with somebody and being married different is that you gave the words, you gave an oath. And I think that's where we're all like getting messed up by this. We get into this marriage, we get unhappy, things don't go well. You know what, better yet, I'm going to use myself, for example. My first marriage, it shouldn't have happened, but if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have got my son Sam out of it. I wouldn't got put out of it. So I can never regret the marriage, but I can regret everything that happened in it. And it was awful. It was terrible. It was terrible. Do you hear me? It was terrible. Every time I wanted to leave, I'm going to leak a story about, I'm going to leak to the press about this, about that, about you being bisexual, about you having a drug addiction to pills, about this, about that. I'm going to ruin your reputation if you leave me. If you divorce me, I'm going to get this much money. I'm going to take the kids. I'm going to do this. It was terrible. I was extorted by my ex-husband for at least 6 years before I was like, you know what? Let's just do it, nigga. Let's do it. I was so over it. And meanwhile, I got to do all of this, raise my children, and manage my career, and keep all of this out of the public eye. Because why? It was nobody's business. It was nobody's business. But when you start adding that celebrity component, when you start adding press to it, and now social media, which makes everything almost instant. People know your business instantly now. What are you supposed to do?
And I feel like Jada must have felt like she owed the public explanation because August came out and put their business out there.
Oh,
because
yeah.
at the end of the day, you know, we as the public been knowing about them being swingers. They have an open relationship and all that. But Will wasn't perfect neither. He bagged a couple chicks. But
Bagged a couple chicks. You being real modest with it. Let's keep it a bean. He done had his fun.
But he got his hoes in check. Jada don't.
See? But you know why? But do you know why? I'm going to tell you why, because she didn't make that boy sign no non-disclosure agreement. She could have sued his ass if she had got the paperwork right first.
Right.
She could have sued him. That would have shut his ass up.
Philadelphia. She need to learn from a Philly nigga. Like, get that nigga to sign a fucking disclosure. Keep your mouth shut, bitch. Or keep your mouth shut, nigga. Keep your hoes the fucking check. What we do in the dark stays in the dark.
Period.
But
we can't call that a marriage, though. But we also can't call that a marriage.
And I didn't like the fact that she like, we ride together, we die together, bam. No, baby. Like,
that marriage for life.
That shit right there was all, because when them cameras went off, when that shit went off, I really feel like Will probably felt some type of way, because he looked like
smacked the shit out of her ass.
He looked really fucking hurt. He looked a little salty, because when she
said a little salty.
When she said entanglement,
yeah.
Like, well, what the fuck is we really talking about? Entanglement. Let's say what the fuck that shit was a fucking relationship.
Right.
He
made it seem like Will gave him permission to fuck his wife.
Well, let's be honest about that. No, let's be honest about that. Let's keep it a bean. If they're having an open marriage and everybody knows that they doing whatever they want to do with whoever they want to do, that is consent. If you know your spouse is messing around and you're not saying nothing about it, whether you're acknowledging it or you know about it or not, you know that you've given this person a free reign to do whatever they want. That is consent.
Gave him a hall pass.
That's a hall pass.
Right.
So, yeah, he did do it with his blessing.
Well,
now he might not have known that the blessing was coming to him, but he was cool if it was somebody else. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying we gotta be careful about what we call a marriage and what we don't call a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because I just believe, like, even now in my marriage now, part of the reason why I took some time away was because I had to grieve. And then when I started grieving for my son, I found out I had never grieved for my father, who's been dead for 10 years. And then everything started popping up. And me and my husband both suffer from PTSD. And I had a full breakdown. Newlywed, full breakdown. You know, we were trying to figure it out. And I'm like, I really don't want us in the public eye while we're trying to figure us out. Because when you're a married couple, I'm going to tell you one of the best people I've ever seen done it. With no nonsense. Kindred, the family soul. My brother Hussein and my sister Asia. They did it right. They did it right. They are married. They have their children. They are in this fight together. They support each other. They back each other up. They got the same goals. You ain't never heard no funny business about him. You ain't never heard no funny business about her. They are always together. That's a marriage.
Right.
That's what a marriage looks like.
Right.
You can call that a marriage. But if I'm only married for photo ops and posts on Instagram,
that ain't a marriage.
But I'm single on Snapchat. You can't be married on Facebook and single on Snapchat. you can't have marital status, but you straight trolling in the middle of the night on Snapchat. No. That's not a marriage. What that is a situation. And see, I think people forget that situationships don't just apply to people that aren't married. Some people are married in a situationship.
Yeah.
Don't want to leave because the COVID is out there and the unemployment might run out. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to don't want to have to.
I'm off of work, baby. I just came off of doing 11 to 7. I work
Girl,
night shift.
go ahead, go to bed. I gotta go in here to Home Depot and finish putting together my pop-up shop. Y'all got me in it, but it's good to see everybody. I love y'all, man. It's been good to be back.
You be safe out there, baby.
I'm doing a live concert that I'm gonna be streaming next month, so I'm gonna put the flyer out there. Let everybody know to show up. Because that's what I'm going to start doing. We can't tour no more.
You have to back to Philly because you know they not having, I know we ain't doing jazz on the Ave this year.
Which is awful.
It is. I mean, we missing everything. Man, Philly is just, child. I mean, like, let's talk about some real shit. You understand? It's very depressing over here. We had to miss the Roots concert, the Roots thing. We missed
the Roots Festival, yeah.
That was canceled. You got Jazz on the Ave that's canceled. Just everything is canceled. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you heard. Heard what? Oh, bodies is popping up in Philly and Benz. It's some type of hate crime over here in Philly. No, seriously, real talk. They just found the body down 31st and Wharton in a plastic container, and it was a black woman. And this is about the 7th black woman that's been killed, and they finding them chopped up inside of these bins that we put our clothes in. You know, when we store our shit and we start flipping stuff.
We haven't had anything like that happen in Philly since the 80s. Actually, since the 90s. Of course it's a hate crime.
It's definitely a hate crime. You know what I mean? With all this Black Lives Matter stuff, it's somebody out here that's running around here and grabbing us. Like, let me get a nigga. We ain't hanging you. We about to start cutting you the fuck up and putting you in beds and dropping you off in neighborhoods. Because that's what just happened 2 days ago. Somebody right on the corner of 31st and Wharton, bruh. And I ain't even from South Philly. But, you know what I mean? This is what's happening. It's like they killing us out here. You know what I mean? And it's really sad. It's scary. I work night shift. And I thank God that I got people to take me to work and make sure I get
I'm just glad that you get to come home when it's daylight.
You know, and then I'm a mom of 3 sons. So, and 3 black sons at that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I know what them streets are.
You know what these streets is. It's not fun out here. You know what I mean? It's really scary.
I want you to do me a favor.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to do me a favor and just spread this word to as many people as possible. Look for the troublemakers in the neighborhood and see what you can do to help.
Yeah, well, that's what I do.
That's the only way. That's the only, because from what I'm hearing, from what I'm really hearing,
we ain't protecting ourselves.
Especially once the money dries up in the city again, it's about to get nasty because you know what it is in Philly. If I ain't got, I'm gonna go get.
You're right.
And there's too many fat little pockets now. All this regentrification. There's too many pockets of little fat neighborhoods where people can go. You know what I mean? So if we see people hungry, you know what I'm saying? If we see people just trying to get a meal at the Chinese food store, buy them a poor man meal. I don't care if it's just some rice and gravy and 3 chicken wings. Like let's keep people from being desperate and making desperate choices.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Because the next time I come to Philly, and I promise you this, I got to get my hands on the kitchen. I'm going to cook a bunch of meals, and I'm going to go to my old neighborhoods, and I'm going to pass them out like I used to back in the day.
That's what's up. Well, when you get to Philly, let me know so I can help. Cause
I'm going to need all the help I can get. Do me a favor. Drop your contact information in my DM so I can take it and put it on my list, because I'm going to need some help.
I definitely will, and I'll get my.
We used to do that though back in the day, man. You know, down at the masjid, the women would get together and cook, and they would. That's why Philly going crazy, because we lost everything that we are.
Because it's too much hate. It's too much hate. And it's sad because it's like, you know.
I couldn't watch it no more. That's why I moved.
You got Richard Allen, then you got Pentown, then Warren. You got Diamond Street, and then you got Dolphin or Grants 18.
Wait a minute, are you telling me that wait. Richard Allen and Penn are at war now?
But that was back in the day. But
I was about to say that was when I was a kid.
I just recently was down, like, you know, I'm from like 18th and Susquehanna. They will beef with the niggas from up York. Or
you remember them girls from VAC? You remember VAC off the Allegheny? Man.
This shit crazy.
Man. Listen to me. We've been fighting for our lives all our lives. Let's just keep it real. If you come from Philadelphia, you've been fighting for your life all your life. It's just y'all got another enemy going around now, an enemy that you can't fight, an enemy that you can't put down.
It's like we gotta protect ourselves from trying to get killed by the white man, and we also gotta protect ourselves from getting killed from a black person, because the hate is so real. It's like if they see you getting a couple dollars and they feel as though you're not doing what they expect you to do, oh, they mad and they ready to dig in your pockets.
We about to get shut down. They got us on the countdown. I ain't never seen this come off as a 19, 18 remaining, 17, 16.
All right, Jack, go ahead.
They counting me down, boo. I ain't never been counted down on a live before.
I'm going to drop my info in your DM.
Please do, because I'm going to need some help. We got to get some strong women together and go out there and make some good